Welcome to What's in the Pot. I'm your host Sean Grande, and today we're making Instant Pot Chicken Pelau. Now I did a recipe before on how to make Pelau in the Instant Pot, but this one's even better. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It's What's in the Pot. Thank you very much for tuning into What's in the Pot. So I'm using about 4 chicken legs and about 4 boneless chicken thighs for my Pelau. And I'm gonna start seasoning the chicken first because we wanna make sure we season that chicken really good. So we're gonna start with 1 teaspoon of black pepper, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of my homemade adobo seasoning. I'll post a link where you can click and make your own homemade adobo seasoning. You don't need to buy the store-bought stuff. Now I am using some of this Sazon seasoning, which has culantro and achote. Achote is ruku and culantro is shadow beni. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some of that. It's gonna give it a nice red color into the Pelau. You know, when we're making stewed chicken, if we're putting ruku in it, it gives a nice color, and as well as the culantro is going to give it a nice flavor. And I'm adding 1 teaspoon of my fresh green seasoning. I'm also adding 1 teaspoon of this island medley pepper sauce from Camella's kitchen. I'll post a link below where you can purchase that. It's a really nice home style pepper sauce, and this is their island herb blend, which is their own green seasoning blend, which I really love. So I like to mix up the green seasoning, a little bit of fresh shadow beni, and also the bottled seasoning from Camella's kitchen. Make sure you work all that seasoning in the chicken. You can see that ruku giving that chicken that nice red color. And then we're gonna add some thyme and a couple more ingredients. We don't want to put too much because we still want to put some flavor in there. And obviously I love to add a little bit of paprika. This is a spicy paprika, so you can use a spicy paprika, or you can use just a regular mild paprika. And the last thing, you gotta add some garlic. So once you add all your ingredients, give that a mix and let that chicken marinate. For the best flavor, I'd say let that chicken marinate overnight for at least 2 to 3 hours. If not, at least the minimum amount of time, I'd say about 30 minutes. Now I have my Instant Pot set to saute mode on the high setting because I want the Instant Pot to get really hot, because if you don't get it really hot, it's gonna take a lot longer for your sugar to burn. So I added about 2 tablespoons of oil, and now I'm also adding 2 teaspoons of cane sugar. Now you can use any kind of sugar, whatever you have on hand, white, brown, it's really up to you. Now the next thing is I added 2 tablespoons. I would suggest adding 3 tablespoons just so you get a little bit more of the caramelization on the chicken. Probably about 3 minutes later, you can see the sugar is now starting to brown a little bit. It's starting to melt. We're gonna let this cook for a couple more minutes. This is the point where you'd want to start adding your chicken. You can see I could have used a little bit more sugar in there, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna put every piece of chicken into the Instant Pot, and we're gonna let that saute for a little bit. And also we're gonna make sure we kind of turn the chicken with the caramelized sugar so every piece of that chicken gets coated. Now we're gonna leave the chicken in there for maybe about 3 minutes. So we put the lid on. Now if you notice, you put the lid on and the valve goes all the way up, just push the valve release, and then you're gonna release all that steam. And then once we release that steam, we're gonna go ahead and give that chicken a turn and see how it's looking. You can see our chicken has that nice, beautiful red color. That red color comes from the caramelized sugar and as well from the ruku that we added when we season the chicken. Some people like to add their ruku now. I like to add it when I'm seasoning my chicken. But go ahead and start getting your rice ready to add in here. Now I like to use parboiled rice, and I'm using 1.5 cups of parboiled rice for my Pelau today. So go ahead and mix that rice in, because that rice is gonna start absorbing all those flavors, all that natural liquid that was released from the chicken with all the seasoning. That's gonna start absorbing into the rice. The next thing I'm gonna add is 16 ounces of pigeon peas. I'm using the canned pigeon peas because this is gonna be a quick and easy cook today. Once you add your pigeon peas, mix that in, get that incorporated with the rice and the chicken. The other ingredients I'll be adding to the Pelau is 1/2 cup of onion chopped and 1 teaspoon of minced garlic chopped, which is equivalent to about maybe 3 cloves of garlic finely chopped. I'm adding 1/2 cup of carrots, about 4 leaves of Spanish thyme finely chopped, and 2 teaspoons of my green seasoning blend. The one ingredient I was missing for this cook today was some fresh pumpkin. So if you have some at home, go ahead and add that in. I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of this Bertie's pimento seasoning. And remember, if you do have fresh pimento at home, go ahead and use that. Sometimes I don't have the ability to get fresh pimentos, so I gotta use the bottled stuff. For my coconut milk, I'm using the instant coconut milk, which I got from calubox.com, and I'm using half the pack with 2 cups of hot water. Now with the Instant Pot, some people say if you're using a cup and a half of rice, you're gonna use a cup and a half of water. I want my rice a little bit softer. Also, you want your pilau a little bit wet, so that's why I'm using 2 cups of coconut milk. If you have fresh coconut milk, go ahead and use that. Incorporate that coconut milk in with all the ingredients we have in the pot, and then we're gonna start putting the lid on and get this cooking. The last thing, we gotta add that hot pepper, and remember, the pepper actually won't burst in the Instant Pot. So for the Instant Pot, hit cancel if you're on the saute mode, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna hit that rice button. Once you hit that rice button, turn the venting on to seal, and that's it. Set it, forget it. After it goes off, we're gonna release all that steam, and then we're gonna open it up. Make sure that valve goes all the way down, and that's our Instant Pot pilau. So simple, so quick. Make sure you take the pepper out. If you want it spicy, go ahead and break that pepper up inside there. But let me give it a good turn. Let me show you. Nothing is stuck to the bottom of that Instant Pot. The chicken is cooked all the way through. The peas is nice and soft. The rice is nice and fluffy. If you want it a little bit more wet, if you like your pilau a little bit more wet, go ahead and add a little bit more coconut milk, or you can actually add a little bit of coconut milk right here and it'll absorb it. It'll keep it nice and wet. But don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you do make this dish, post it on social media, tag me on Instagram at what's in DEPOT. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter, on Facebook, and on TikTok. Till next time, stay safe, stay blessed. I hope you enjoyed this video, and give it a try, man. If you have an Instant Pot or a multi-pot cooker like this, go ahead and give it a try.